Spouse 29F admits to cheating with my 30M best friend 30M. 2 days ago, my spouse of 5 years together for 10 admitted to 2 occasions where she cheated with my best friend of 15 years. The first time was several months ago. The second time was less than a week ago, and they were caught by his wife, also a friend for 15 plus years. It was also an emotional affair, as they've gotten very close in the last 4 or 5 months. Just before this admission, I had an overdue talk with her about me being uncomfortable, at times, with the closeness of their friendship. She claims that there was no reason she did this, that both occasions were drunk and stupid mistakes. I pointed out that this wasn't 2 isolated incidents. It was months and months of hidden, unfaithful behavior. Even after the first physical episode of cheating, she chose not to walk away. She claims that there are no relationship issues or other problems that drove this behavior. I have a really hard time believing this. You don't cheat for no reason, and the why? Question is really messing with my head, even if I know it's mostly irrelevant in the big picture. I'm also having serious doubts that this was the first time she's cheated. She's had male friends at work that threw up some red flags, but obviously I didn't act on it. We're both independent and gave each other space to have our own lives. At least, that's how I used to view it. Instead, I may have given her enough rope to hang herself with. My best friend is dead to me. While it would be incredibly satisfying to seek out a fight or some kind of revenge, I doubt it does any good in the short term or long term. As for me, my emotions are still incredibly raw, but I don't see how I can live with this. I'm an independent person and I'm pretty closed off, but my wife was the one person I let in. These people formed virtually my entire social group. We were incredibly close. Now I'm looking around at my life and it feels like scorched earth. There's nothing left. We have no kids, thank God. We own a house in a growing market that could sell for $100,000 over the mortgage value. We have virtually no other debt. We're both staying in the house for now, her downstairs, me upstairs. It's so hard to think clearly. Every thought is interrupted by an alternating torrent of anger and crushing sadness. I don't think I can live with this, but I don't want to call it quits in a cloud of anger and realize later that I should have taken more time. On the other hand, I don't want to wait too long and be influenced to stay by loneliness, depression, and attrition. How do I choose a path forward? If I leave, what do I need to start getting in order? Edit: if divorce is where we end up, I'd prefer to avoid lawyers if possible. We're on equal footing financially and I'm not interested in legal financial vengeance. I understand that if she wants to get lawyers involved, my hand will be at first. But I'm also way out of my element here, so feel free to lay out the rationale for lawyering up in spite of my thoughts. Redditor's reactions story 2 after. Redditor 1, if divorce is where we end up, I'd prefer to avoid lawyers if possible. That would be a good idea if you could trust her, but it's clear you can't. Redditor follow up, yeah, definitely have a lawyer, in case she does blindside you with a lawyer. Redditor 2, first of all, get a lawyer. Talk to them about the steps you need to take for divorce. There is zero reason for you to stay in this marriage. Redditor follow up, at the very least get the free consultation that most lawyers will give you. This will give you a better idea of what your options are, what you are likely to see and what steps you need to take now. Will your wife fight you on this divorce? Have you talked about it at all to her? Or does she seem like she just takes it for granted that you'll move past it and stay with her? Redditor 3, you would have never known about this if your friend's wife did not catch them. Think about that. Redditor 4, you are only 30 and extremely financially set. You are independent already, so this won't really change much. The key is to not stay bitter towards your next girlfriend wife. You need to let them in. Just because this one deceived you does not mean the next one will. You will live a much happier life if you can let this go and move on with your life. It's one thing to be protective of your own feelings, but you'll always need somebody in it, be it friend, family, or spouse. In this case, you lost both a friend and spouse that you let into your walls. That hurts, and understandably so. But that doesn't mean the world is as spiteful as you think. You can get back at them by being happy with your life and leaving them in your past. Life's too short for this type of drama and you will be fine. Trust me on that. Some people have it much worse. P.S. Get a lawyer. I read your edit, and think what you like, but your wife will probably try and get most of your assets if you don't get a lawyer. I know it's a pain, but there's no easy way out of this. It wasn't a mutual breakup. It was her tearing your heart out and you leaving her in response. She is going to try and cash in on this opportunity if you choose to divorce her. Lawyer is required. Story 2. What do you consider signs? I don't know how many of you are spiritual, but if this resonates, then by all means comment your experience. Now that we're reflecting on our pasts, have any of you noticed any signs that just stand out to you spiritually that maybe our cheating spouses weren't our soulmates? Something so infinitesimally small it was hard to notice at first, but now looking back you can't ignore? When I was in high school, I had a dream I woke up next to a beautiful woman. We were in a large bed with light sheets I knew was mine without a headboard up against a brightly lit window. It was so vivid, the memory of it has been with me for 20 years. At the time I was positive I was getting a glimpse into my future and figured maybe the woman in my dream must have been my high school sweetheart because they shared similar physical characteristics, but something felt off and I knew it wasn't her. Fast forward a few years and I felt maybe my dream woman was my now ex-wife. She shares similar physical attributes to my dream woman as well, except looking back the standout is that my ex would never allow me to place our bed next to a window and she hated being without a headboard. There are other signs of course, but for some reason this dream still nags at me. I now have my own king bed sans headboard which is placed directly beneath a very large window and my sheets are light gray. What could this mean? I feel I'm getting very close to something extremely important and special, and I did not place the bed there with this dream in mind. What do you guys think? Update: striking testimony today in trial. I've never posted here before that I recall, but I've commented on several posts to many people. To those who remember something of my situation, I apologize for the quick recap. I caught my wife cheating on me 2 years ago, tried marriage counseling, but she wasn't interested. Then her new wayward behaviors angered a few of her friends who contacted me, bringing a lot of secrets to light. I knew she had slept with one guy she knew from high school after they reconnected on Facebook, but it turned out he was one of many. I filed for divorce then. A year into waiting for the conciliation court's investigation, COVID shut down everything. All that of course happened last year, and we've had many incidents of abuse since. I even got an order of protection against her and have 2 of my kids full-time for their safety, but we still share the younger ones. Today was the first day of our final trial. I had a few police detectives testify on their investigations into claimed domestic violence. She made multiple false allegations, but then the one that really hit us was the son of one of her former friends that lived with my ex last year for a few months until DCS took him and his sister away and gave them back to their mom. Amidst his testimony was something that should have sunk my stomach, but it didn't. He confirmed to the court that my ex is now a prostitute and witnessed her with a rotation of sketchy men she would disappear into her room with for sometimes hours at a time. He also witnessed some of these men pay her cash after they left the room before they left the house. This just happened a few hours ago. The trial ran late, so we recessed until 2 weeks from now. I'm not entirely sure how to feel about knowing this. I've had my suspicions since the neighbors I still speak with had told me a few things they found off last year, but this confirmed it. I know I should feel something, but I just don't. I'm only posting about it because I honestly don't really have anyone to talk about it with, and it's kinda concerning me that I don't feel anything I feel I should. We were together over 14 years, why am I feeling apathetic to this news? Thanks for reading. Update: lost my dog, lost my peace. This it can really come out of nowhere, can't it? I thought I was doing good, honest to God I really felt I was getting over all this, but man is it easy to backtrack. When I caught my wife cheating then left, I couldn't take my dog with me, so left her with my ex. Once I got into a place that allowed pets, I asked for her repeatedly and even tried negotiating for her during the divorce, but she was eventually dropped because we agreed to share her, but my ex never did. My kids know how much I've missed my pup. I got her from a friend and raised her since she was a month old. She'll be 9 this year. This past week at pickup, my 7-year-old grabbed her and ran out his mom's house to my car with my ex chasing after him. I still have a no contact order, so I figured she'd cause problems, but to my complete disbelief my ex agreed to let her come with me. I couldn't believe it. I finally, after 2 years, had my dog back by my side. I went shopping that day for dog food, collar, tag, harness, leash, food bowl, bed, and since I really don't trust my ex, I even got my pup chipped just in case. My ex has called the police on me in the past over less, so I really didn't put it past her to call again claiming I dognapped my pup, but to my second surprise of the week she never did. My kids and I were in heaven having my pup back, and we didn't want to give her up. We all wanted the pup to stay here, but I didn't want my ex having any leverage, so today at pickup I let her choose to stay or leave with my ex. My dog ran outside and my ex put her in her car without letting her choose. She wouldn't even let the kids open the door to let her out, and they asked her to let the dog stay with me and told her they wanted me to have her, but my ex ignored them. When she was done getting everyone in the car without letting my pup out, she took off. My ex has done a lot of things to hurt me. You guys are welcome to read through my old posts for more info, but this really hurts. It really feels like I'm back to where I was last year when I was still processing through the pain of losing my family. 1 step forward, 2 steps back. I know I can call the cops now that she's chipped, but I really don't want to cause problems like this in front of my kids. I'm going to wait till it's my time again and see if she lets me have my dog back when I pick up my kids. I guess if she refuses, then I'll call the police and they can deal with my ex on my behalf. Sorry for the rant, but I literally don't have anyone I can vent to. Update: I'm officially divorced. Hi everyone, I hope you're all doing well. As for me, well, the title there should say it all. As of late last night, found out earlier today, I am officially divorced. The court ruled almost entirely in my favor, giving me full decision making and primary residency of my boys as well as child support. I just have to inform her of my decisions. She only gets to see them on weekends now, and only the younger ones that still want to see her. The older boys are no longer obligated to have any communication with her, which suits them just fine, and I get them 1 full weekend a month, which means I get them for a full 2 weeks once a month. Another great addition to this ruling is that she can no longer take them out of the state. I didn't even consider that. So how did it come to this? Why was she shafted so horribly by the court? There were just too many reasons to count, but chief among them was her complete inability to safely parent. Do I feel bad? I actually kinda do, but then again, she did all of this to herself. I hope she gets the help she needs one day and realizes what she did for all of this to fall on top of her the way it did, but I'm not holding my breath. This epiphany will occur anytime soon. For the moment though, things are looking better than they have in a really long time. I wish you all a safe night and sweet dreams, and thanks for following along. Oh, and to update you all on my pup, she's doing great and seldom leaves my side. The ex never even tried to get her back, go figure. Update: one of her former friends just shared a few screenshots from my ex's FB. She's now actively advertising she lost our kids to me in the divorce and now wants to get pregnant. WTF, SMH. Update: I survived and found trust again. How's it going everyone? It finally happened. I'm happy in a bittersweet way to report that I recently found, or rather she found me, someone I began to see a future with. After everything that life threw at me these last few years, I have discovered my heart still works and I am still able to love. It's bittersweet because this beautiful, fiercely independent woman chose to move on, which I absolutely do not blame her for given my ex, but I'm still very pleased I got to feel those butterflies once more. I am grateful to have gotten the amount of time I did share with her, so if you ever read this and you know who you are, thank you. I trust I'll feel these emotions again, but I'm in no rush to find it. My ex is still doing her best to make my life hell, but I'm finding I don't mind her antics much anymore. She recently filed yet another order of protection against me filled with easily countered misleading accusations, but I couldn't care less about it. My little lady pup is laying right next to me. I'm actually scratching her belly as I write this, and yes, my ex is now claiming I stole her in that order mentioned above, but given she's chipped, there's nothing my ex can do about it. And my sons now reside with me full time except when they visit her on Saturdays. They're doing great in school now that they actually attend, since she can't blow it off anymore, and I get to sit with them every night to help with homework, and there are even plans for me to return to school next semester as well. I feel I can safely state that I've survived infidelity and I am doing great. Thank you all for helping in this journey. It's been hell, but the only way to go after hitting rock bottom is up. To those still in this hellscape I say this: breathe, it will get better, and I promise you will be happy again. Thank you. Update. Hi guys, it's been a few weeks but thought I'd add to this for those of you still experiencing this hell. If you're not aware of my family situation, here's a quick recap. Obviously caught ex cheating, which lead to divorce, but she turned psychotic and assaulted our older 2 kids, which lead to my gaining full custody of them before the divorce was finalized. This didn't happen all at once either, but through a series of altercations, first with our oldest then second, as she kept forcing them into parental roles throughout the year following my filing for divorce and moving out. I was aware of a lot but not everything, and did all possible to get them away from her. 2 days ago she physically assaulted our 3rd son. The altercation has been reported and I'm now awaiting yet another visit from DCS to investigate this. I'm refusing to allow him to return for their weekend visits with her. I survived infidelity, but I'm not out of the woods just yet. It's a stern reminder this experience never truly leaves us. Which brings me to update 2. The gorgeous woman I mentioned above and I are now together, and I can't begin to tell you all how happy I am again. She is my peace and I will never stop being grateful she is in my life. If you're reading this, I love you and thank you. Redditors' reactions. Redditor 1. It is really good to hear that you made it through the shitstorm. I hope every day is better than the last. Just make sure to record every interaction with the ex so you can keep disproving all the charges she keeps bringing up. And for goodness sake, consider filing harassment charges against her. Answer. Thank you. I had my own upheld order of protection all last year, and there's still a no contact order in place from when she got arrested for violating it multiple times. We're currently ordered to only communicate about our kids via email monitored by the court. It's funny because in her current order of protection she's claiming there are emails from me threatening her, but the court has copies of our communications. Redditor 2. Thanks for spreading some hope for all of us. You deserve happiness. Redditor 3. Kudos to you. Moving on without the pain is made easier by their stupid antics, but since you did have the pup chipped, you are safely covered. Spayed is also important if you are not planning to breed her. About the new XGF? You've tasted what caring and actual interest feel like, so while you heal from the emotional Drano that was poured down your throat, take your time and make yourself the best version of yourself you can be. Happy healing. Answer. Thank you. My pup is covered, and although I would have loved to have had tiny versions of her scampering around, she was fixed a long time ago, but she's safe, so that's what matters. My recent friend unfortunately never accepted becoming anything more than what she was to me, though we spoke for hours every day without fail. I did grow to care for her, and I know she liked me, but 5 kids and a crazy ex is daunting for anyone, so I don't blame her for exiting the picture. I really am just grateful to know someone like her is out there. She truly is a beautiful soul, and I wish her the best in everything. And yes, I am pandering, but only because in my eyes she truly does deserve it. I wasn't looking to feel this way about anyone again, and it hurts not to be with her, but I'm glad I can feel this for someone again after the emotional purgatory my WW left me in. I now know I'm emotionally equipped to try again, and what better feeling is there? I'm not pining for unrequited love anymore, and I'm finally done mourning the loss of my marriage. I feel hopeful again, and it's intoxicating.